Here we go, welcome back. And here to tempt you to try a new bottle of wine is Dina Kostis, sommelier from Pickwick and Frolic. I just love everything about the place. Love seeing you.
Thank you for having me.
And when you come on the show, I always learn a lot. So last time we were talking about a white wine, and I was saying I didn't know much about which one?
Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio.
So are they? So I always I don't know which one to get, the Pinot Gris or the Pinot Grigio.
They're one and the same.
Same kind.
It's one and the same. In Alsace, France, which is its home, that's where they call it Pinot Gris. In Italy, they call it Pinot Grigio, and then winemakers all over they waver. Should we call it Pinot Gris, Pinot Grigio? So in Oregon, you'll see a lot of Pinot Gris, and in California, you'll see Pinot Grigio. So, but it's one and the same thing. It's
are these all from all over the world right here?
These are from all over. So we have Italy. This is the one that we're pouring, which is in this glass right here. This is Catena Tolo. If you want to try that, that has a little nice mouthfeel, a little viscosity.
What's the name of it?
Catena Tolo.
I wonder what that means.
From Italy. That's a good question. It has a little bit of fresh pear going on, and then it just coats the mouth nicely. They're just such friendly summer wines. That's what this is all about.
It always amazes me how it does. It reminds you of a pear right away.
It does, absolutely. Yeah. They're just very versatile.
And finishes really dry. Not too dry, but it finishes dry. So it's not. This is not like a sweet wine.
No, not at all. No. Then we can go to Mendoza, Argentina for Inacayal, and this one here I found had a little bit of licorice on the end. So it's a very interesting bottle.
That's this one?
Wants to try it? No, we're gonna get you into that one right here. This is Oregon. You can do a boater selection. The boaters really like these Pinot.
Pop a can?
Pinot Gris in the can. You can do a Pinot Noir too, but the Pinot Gris has been going great. But this is Chehalem 3 Vineyard, which is in this glass right here.
Chehalem, it sounds like it's from Israel.
And that's from Willamette Valley, Oregon. Yeah, yeah.
How about that?
So this is their Pinot Gris, and this again has a great personality, but again you get some stone fruits there.
That's this one?
That's this one right here that I think you should try. Yeah. Yeah, they do such a nice job, and with the crab cakes that you prepared today, that would go perfect with it. Absolutely, any of these really will.
So this one is bigger than the first one I tasted.
Definitely is. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are usually.
She's taking me to school.
Yeah, right. These are usually aperitifs, so they are meant to just be extremely friendly and mouth-watering and stimulate your palate, stimulate your appetite, but pair well with all seafood, light meats, light creamy cheeses, terrines, risottos.
Yeah, I was going to say
oysters.
Because this like this first one I tasted it'd be a great one if you're sitting like at the piazza or something like that, and they bring out the meats and the cheeses and all that, because it has enough personality to stand up to that, but it's not big.
No,
like a red.
No Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris is going to be life-changing. It is just going to be very enjoyable, and usually nice, accompanied by food sometimes, or just great conversation.
Okay, beautiful colors and shapes and different places and all that kind of thing. So sometimes I'm looking at labels that say Sauvignon Blanc, which we've talked about before.
Right.
But let's talk about that now with this. So what's the difference? If I'm going to pick this over Sauvignon Blanc, which would I take at what time and why?
Well, Sauvignon Blanc is going to have a very strong personality. They tend to, especially if they're from New Zealand. I mean, they're in your face kind of glass of wine. This is going to be very subtle. This is your friendly user. So if you're having a dinner party and you want to please all palates, this is the way I would go. It's just easy to drink. A Sauvignon Blanc, depending where you go. If you go to California, they're a little softer. If you go to New Zealand, they're a little stronger in profile.
So what would you pair the Sauvignon Blanc with in terms of food?
Same thing, all seafood, oysters, sushi.
It'd just be a bigger wine.
It would just be a bigger wine. You would remember it more, I think. Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
And how about like the rosés everyone's seeing now? Like rosés seem to me that they're remarketed or changed from what they used to be. And they sort of fall into this category, don't they, in terms of that light first wine?
Yes, they do. They definitely are, again, another aperitif that you could have, absolutely. Those are going to have those red fruits on it, so it's a little different profile than a Sauvignon Blanc would be, or a Pinot Grigio. But still, it's a chilled wine or room temperature. Sometimes people like to drink rosé, but it's going to have more of the red fruit because typically it's made from a red grape.
Okay, so, I'm coming to Pickwick and Frolic. I'm going to have maybe some crab cakes and some shrimp, or maybe some walleye or something like that. Maybe one of the foods is fried.
Yeah.
Which one would you recommend to me?
I'm going to take you to right to its home, Alsace, France. This is Albert Mann here, and this again you're going to feel that it is bigger, but this is done in an off-dry style. I get a little bit of a Mirabelle in there, a little plum going on.
Woo.
It's just.
It's way rounder.
It definitely fills your mouth much more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
A little more exciting.
You make this a lot of fun.
Oh, God, good. I'm glad that's what it's all about.
And you walk away a little smarter.
This last one here too. Now this is Pinot Grigio done in a late harvest style.
Oh,
now,
it'll be sweeter.
It is sweeter, but it's not super sweet. This is a great wine to pair with a cheese board. I think it would go fantastic with a really salty blue, or even if you stay to a not so sweet dessert-based.
It cuts the edge.
Fruit-based dessert.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So, you know, Pinot Grigio, it is a mutation of Pinot Noir and a cousin to Chardonnay.
Who doesn't love a good mutation?
We like a good mutation.
There you go.
Pink skin mutation.
Great to see you. We saw your dad yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the Ronald McDonald, the Contagious Comedy.
You laugh even more than he does.
We laugh all the time.
That's great. That's next Thursday, so don't forget about that. When you go to that, the money goes to Ronald McDonald.
Next Thursday, the 29th. That's right.
Check it
Please
out.
come.